Herzlich willkommen zurück zu Fragments of Him, dem interaktiven Spielfilm, wie ich es jetzt mal nenne, weil was anderes ist es halt nicht. Man schaut hin, man hört hin, man liest unten den Text eventuell, wenn man es nicht ganz versteht, klickt irgendwo hin und dann geht's weiter. Bin gerade nicht so sehr begeistert, aber über gewisse Dinge, die erzählt werden, bin ich traurig. Seid froh, dass ich keine Facecam habe. Ich habe bei der Sache mit der Oma und Will vorhin schon ziemlich... liefen die Tränchen schon. Hoffentlich wird das nicht noch schlimmer. Partytime, ich höre Musik.
It was really busy for those first few weeks. Will must have been around at lectures, but I was caught up in meeting housemates and learning the basics of living away from home. The next time I remember seeing him was through the window of the Union Bar.
Ach so, das war das erste Mal, wo sie, oder mehr oder weniger, wo sie Will gesehen hat.
I
Da ist er.
recognized him then from the first day, and I remembered liking how he'd look back at me then. Britpop was still doing pretty well. Good music, Blur, Pulp, that kind of thing, and Oasis weren't just repeating themselves then. Not that the Union was playing much of those. It was a typical Friday, crowded, with the windows dripping with condensation, cheap spilled drinks making the floor sticky. I guess I set my sights on him that night. I was determined to at least talk to him.
Okay, sie wollte ihn unbedingt haben.
It's not easy to find someone when you're not so tall and the lights are low. Spotting Will in the crowd was hard.
Oh ja, ich merk's gerade.
I think I was changing fast. It'd only been a couple of weeks since I got to uni, but I felt very different. I know it sounds weird, but I always felt that Will was a good person. The kind of person I wanted to be around. It was true.
Ist er ja. Oh, ich komme nicht durch. Achso. Da ist er ja. Da ist... Oh, das ist Harry. Okay.
I joined in whatever the conversation was that Will was having. I've no idea what we talked about. I think I was pretty obvious in my intentions. We had a few drinks and I remember pulling him outside.
Okay.
You know the feeling, the rush of anticipation? I was getting that so much. It was cold, but in a welcome way. We went to sit for a moment, to look at the view.
Ah ja, ich wollte schon sagen.
And that was when he first kissed me.
Ah, schön. Ging aber schnell. Sich gesehen, paar Drinks und schon knutsch, knutsch. So schnell geht es also. Screen 2 Winchester. Wir sind ja aber nicht bei Supernatural.
Our first proper date was to the cinema.
Date im Kino. Nicht ungewöhnlich, würde ich sagen. Können wir jetzt aussuchen, ob wir vorne sitzen oder hinten? Ja, ist okay.
We had seats in the middle of the cinema. It didn't help my nerves much having everyone nearby.
Ist egal, wo wir gesessen hätten, oder? Hätte ich hinten nehmen sollen. Ups.
We sat there fidgeting, wanting to touch but scared to.
Hätte ich doch schon geküsst, da kann man sich doch mal anfassen.
I kept looking sideways to see if he was looking at me. Tried not to move my head too much in case he wasn't looking and noticed that I was. When I went to hold his hand, he moved his away. But I think that was by accident. I shifted in my seat a bit, letting my leg touch his. I was so smooth.
Süß. Jetzt nichts? Oh.
We ignored the film, pretty much. It was that silly action one, with that guy who always acts crazy, thingamy. It was like everything else faded out. I finally made an actual move and put my hand on his leg. I felt so relieved when he smiled at me.
Sollte er nicht die Hand auf dein Bein legen, wäre das nicht eher...
His hand was warm and dry, and his skin soft. He gently held the side of my face, turning me towards him. He closed his eyes and kissed me, placing his lips softly onto mine. We
Süß.
sat with our fingers locked together for the rest of the film, and when it was over we walked out, still holding hands. As we were going though, I had this weird prescient feeling. I could feel I was falling in love fast for the first time, but it was so strong, it would end. Will always gave the impression of confidence, like he always had a grand plan. I wish I knew if he saw that end coming too, like I felt it was. I don't know if that would have made how it went any easier.
Bin ich froh, dass der Typ nicht Jeff heißt, ey. Hätte ja alles sein können, ne? Bei meinem Glück.
I'd been putting off unpacking all of my boxes, but the next day I finally got round to it. I got out the essentials, of course, but I hadn't felt very motivated to do the rest. I hung up a tasseled cloth scarf that was my mum's. She's a bit of a hippie. I think I brought my old books as a comfort thing. I didn't really expect to read them at uni. They were just nice to have around.
Okay, ich kann es mir aussuchen, wo ich es hinhänge. Oh,
I brought my
Knuddelhase.
first ever toy to uni with me. I know it seems weird for a woman to do that, but it brings back happy memories.
Auf den Tisch.
I've still got that bunny on a shelf in my room. It's like looking straight into the past and some good times. Even the smell makes me happy. There were some candles my mum had given me. Will was coming over later that week and I was falling for him, so I thought I'd make it more cozy in there. Is it weird to tell you this? I couldn't make up my mind where to put things.
Hä? Okay. Passt doch schon so.
It shouldn't have mattered so much, but I wanted the place to look nice.
Hä? Ich finde, das sieht gut aus.
It's weird how long you think about such small things.
Muss sich's ändern, oder was? Wie doof. Der Hase bleibt da sitzen.
The little choices are important.
Ich will den da aber hinhaben. Oder ins Bett. Na gut, dann
I
dahin.
guess it didn't make any difference really, but I was happy when I was sure I'd got it right. I wanted to feel comfortable when Will came over.
Sieht doch
Will
gut.
and
Na egal.
it felt like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing, and just as likely to burn us both as to make us happy. But what a lovely way to burn.
War richtig verliebt in ihn. Ja, wir sind wieder
That
hier.
Christmas, I met Will's family. We've been together for 4 months. Do you remember me there?
Ja, klar.
I don't think I really said much that day. I was head over heels in love with him and very worried I'd say something wrong. I kept on wanting to touch him. There was this really good chemistry with him, but with family around, it didn't seem right. I got nice shivers when he touched me as he poured my wine. Oh, thanks. The meal went well, I think.
Ja, was sage ich, ne? Ich hatte sowas noch nie. So ein Weihnachtsessen mit der Familie. Weil auch hier niemand viel auf Weihnachten gibt. Und das wird sich auch nicht ändern.
You only get to make one first impression, so I probably should have worn something else. I felt quite self-conscious. I loved him so much, but that feeling I had wouldn't go away, that it was all going to end. That Christmas Day, though, I felt like we had a chance.
Jetzt lese ich schon wieder, jetzt kann ich gleich schon wieder ändern. Oh. Das ist das Nervige daran, dass das jedes Mal wieder auf Fullscreen geht und das ist so scheiße.
Things were going well, but over the months, I felt the relationship changing.
Okay.
We often put on music to fall asleep to. Will had a CD recording of a thunderstorm. The sound of the rain was relaxing, but there were a couple of bits of thunder that would make me jump. We listened to a lot of Portishead. Even now when I listen to them, I remember being back in that room, in his arms. We would watch videos in bed together, or whatever was on the TV. Coronation Street had a transgender character. It wasn't something I'd thought much about before. I'd never had to think about my sexuality much. I'm straight, and as far as I knew, my friends up until that time all had been too. I just accepted Will for who he was, regardless of his sexuality. It's funny to tell you this now, but I was never jealous of Harry. You'd think I would be, but I loved Will so much. I just wanted him to be happy. I could feel the end of it all shaping up, but we had good times anyway. Though sometimes lonely, in a weird way. It felt like we were the only people in the world. Maybe I didn't mind Will getting closer to Harry because it felt like our own love was too much for two people. We were all, Will, Harry and me, studying on the same English degree. There was a spark between Will and Harry, that much was obvious. I didn't feel jealous. I know that sounds weird, but I liked seeing Will happy, and Harry made him feel that way. I'll never forget that time, seeing their friendship grow. The longer we dated, the more we stayed in. We would go out to meet up with Harry and a couple of other friends, but it was mostly just Will and me. It still makes me smile, thinking of that room and those days. It might seem odd to you, but it was my suggestion. I told Will to ask out Harry. I loved him.
Was?
I knew it would make us all happy for Will to have Harry in his life. It was something he needed to do.
Sie hat ihn dazu gebracht, Harry zu daten? Oh mein Gott.
I feel lucky. How many times in your life will you be sure you've helped a person find their true love? Though it was rough. For a long time, I wished that true love had been me.
Das glaube ich auch. Ich würde niemals wollen, dass... Gott, ich könnte das nicht. Wie sie sagt, sie liebt ihn so sehr, dass sie will, dass er glücklich ist. Wenn ich das schon lese, ne? Schießen mir auch schon wieder die Tränen hoch. Ich bin sentimental geworden in den letzten Monaten. Ich weiß nicht warum. Viel mehr, als ich es früher war. Das ist mir manchmal überhaupt nicht lieb. Gar nicht.
Let me paint a picture for you of the end. Will had been seeing both me and Harry at the same time for about 6 months. I can see you think that sounds weird, but it really wasn't. We were all open, safe, and honest about it. The picture.
Okay.
It was in the basement of the Royal Oak in October. You could still smoke in pubs back then, and the faint smell was always there. The seats were covered with tapestry fabric that was worn and faded. It was that old, heavy pub furniture. There was the muffled sound of the George Street traffic. I knew what I was going to say to Will. I had a friend before uni who was having boyfriend problems and asked me what love is. I told her that love was being able to tell a person that you never wanted to see them again. Even though it broke your heart to do it, you would tell them to leave you because it was right. I was quite happy with that answer. Like love was something from a Shakespearean tragedy.
Ich könnte niemals jemanden, den ich liebe, gehen lassen. Ich könnte das nicht.
I don't know why they asked me. I'd never been in love when I said that. I didn't think I'd have to do it myself one day. I didn't expect to be right.
Oh, jetzt kann ich sogar was machen.
We need to talk.
Oh?
This needs to change.
You mean us?
I feel like I'm getting in your way.
You're not. This is good.
Sure, but I don't know if it's good for you.
I'd like to be the one making that choice.
I'm happy with you. I love you, but this isn't about me.
I love you too. I want to be with you.
I know, but I don't think you should be.
Is this it? Can I do anything differently?
No, you've not done anything wrong.
I don't want this.
Me either. But it's right.
I love you.
I love you too. I was so in love. I can't tell you how much it hurt to let him go. I never forgot him. I never stopped loving him. Love doesn't just stop. It's not like a room you just walk out of. Our love, the warmth of it, became a memory I cherish. I've never loved anyone like that again.
Ich brauche eine Pause. Bis zum nächsten Mal bei Fragments of Film. Bis dann.